There's Jet Lawrence on the line trying to win this 250 National Motocross title. Now, the public face of this 18-year-old Honda rider is well known. The donut giveaways to fans, the fans that bring signs to the track to try to win his jerseys, and the legion of online followers that grows by the day. But he is the son of hardworking parents from Australia. He's a tireless competitor even at the practice track, an attentive pupil for the legend, his trainer, Johnny O'Mara. It's that Jet Lawrence that has dominated the past 4 motos coming into this race, and that's what's put him on the verge of this title.
Hunter and I just want this championship just as much as Johnny does or anyone else, and our group is so good because we wake up, we breathe motocross, we think motocross, we watch motocross. Obviously, a lot of people know the bonus is a lot of money, and that's more so not going to help out me. It's going to help out more so my family, really. Which, at the end of the day, it's awesome because they sacrificed a lot, and it's really good to give back to them. That mid-year slump kind of sucked because I did lose a lot of points, but it was good because we learn a lot. Again, like I just want to learn as much as I can, because the more you learn, the better it is, and learn a lot of things in that in those few races of sucking that bad. So yeah, it was good, and I think just that little bit of a break when I came back, I think it was just going to Unadilla. It's a really fun track, and I think once I got that start, I think it just started clicking then. When I get on podium, I'm still the same person I am when I'm just talking with my friends. It's not like I'm putting a fake mask on. If I don't like something and I'm pissed, I'm going to show it. I'm not going to hide it like just because it's TV. Like, people watch to see what you're thinking and with interviews and that, and I'm not just going to fake it. I think that's what they really like, because I don't really get affected much by what other people say, and I think I feel like I'm pretty honest with a lot of things I say, and I think that's what people like, I think. So yeah, and it's because I'm an outgoing person, maybe, I don't know.
He's a likable young man, but he has a tall task here. A rough first moto for Jet Lawrence has put the title back into play. Didn't wrap it up early. He's got to finish 7th or better here in Moto 2. Back at Hangtown, 1 moto left in Lucas Oil Pro Motocross this year. Can Jet Lawrence perform under pressure and get this #1 plate? Moto #1 at Ironman Raceway belongs to Jet Lawrence. He needed the 1-1. He gets the 1-1. Jet Lawrence has taken the points lead and the race win. Jet has 3 straight moto wins. And Jet Lawrence wins again at Fox Raceway. Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship here on NBCSN. It's the Hangtown Motocross Classic, time running out in this series. Let's show you the track here real quick at Hangtown and how this race day has transpired as well. MS versus ATV track map.
One final track map as we're on the Parts Unlimited drone heading to the top, the highest part of the track. Gonna make a left and head back down. Look at this beautiful track, beautiful day. And for one of these 2 young riders, this is gonna be the biggest race and the biggest moto of their career. Take a look at some of the facts here from Hangtown.
Okay, Moto 1 earlier today, Jet Lawrence came in here with a big points lead, but then on lap 1, this crash puts him in dead last, 40th place. And then when you're back in traffic, things like this happen.
Loses his visor, then he compounds it, has another rider fall in front of him. But Justin Cooper was up front, and he almost goes down with the lap rider, and then this happens with just a lap to go.
Unbelievable. Cooper just barely escapes. He wins the moto, scores maximum points there. The 18 of Lawrence would fight back. Last lap pass on Jarrett Fry, clinging to every point he can. Here is a scenario in this moto. He needs to finish 7th or better to wrap the title. KTM keys to the moto, Jeff.
All right, focus on the start. Jet Lawrence has got to get out of the gate better than he did the first moto. And if you're Justin Cooper, you have to believe that you can win this.
But the craziest thing, Lawrence has chosen to line up next to Cooper. Cooper had the gate pick from qualifying in Moto 1.
Okay, Justin Cooper is a great starter. Lawrence has been good but struggled, especially earlier today. No way I would have lined up right to the right, which is the outside of Justin Cooper. But here we go, man on man.
Last moto of the year, title on the line. Cooper, is he going to move over? He sure does, and shuts Lawrence down. Cooper on the inside, whole shot. It's going to be one of the Husqvarna riders.
Well, neither one of them gets the whole shot.
Oh, it's Verrees, or it is Verrees, into the lead. Cooper almost got knocked down. He's into second. So mission accomplished. He got the jump, and he shut Lawrence down out of the gate. That's totally legal in motocross. 75, Ty Masterpool is there as well in third.
Okay, a couple of pro circuit Kawasaki riders in fourth and fifth with Shimoda and Faulkner. Jet Lawrence, your points leader, has got his work cut out for him, and he cannot make any of the mistakes that he made in Moto 1. He is fast enough to finish 7th or better in this moto.
Okay, I think he was about 10th. Meanwhile, your leader there is Ruiz, the 241. Then Masterpool's actually slipped by Cooper, who's on the 32. Kawasaki riders battling. There's the 18 of Lawrence. So I'm going to say that's about top 10 right now. Well, he's got his brother on his right side, on the inside. And that's also another Honda, the 39 of Carson Mumford. Yep.
Track is going to be dry and hard pack in spots. It's going to be wet and hard pack and slippery in spots. This is a really difficult race course. It's so easy to make mistakes. Oh, he gets slammed and almost boxed out by Mumford.
Oh, getting roosted by the Suzuki rider right in front of him. I believe that's the 90 of Schwartz. He has to finish 7th in this moto if Cooper wins, but Cooper's not leading. He's back in 3rd right now.
So much on the line for Jet Lawrence here, 18-year-old out of Australia. He's got to keep his cool right now.
Hampshire just went down. Hampshire is one of the front runners in the class. He tucked the front, he crashed. That is going to be one less quick rider that Lawrence will have to deal with.
He's got to use his head. There's still so much racing left to go, and he tries to get by Volan.
Volan of the 115, the orange Red Bull KTM. There is the 18 of Lawrence. And it is just traffic jam early in this one. You and I were both surprised to see. Oh, no, he goes down. He tucks the front end.
I believe he tapped the back of Volan.
Okay, so 3-4 riders just slipped by. That is 3 crashes for Lawrence here on championship day. You've got to imagine that pressure is a part of this picture.
Okay, watch what happens. See, Volan on the right there on the KTM. They both come into the same line, and Volan checks up just a little bit. Lawrence has to check up just a little bit and gets the front tire. I mean, we're talking 4-inch difference here of just trying not to get into the back of him and goes down. Maybe he was aiming for that new inside rut right there. Bottom line is the Honda once again down on the ground, and Lawrence has to pick himself back up.
Oh.
And that puts him, that's going to put him about 11th right now is what, no, sorry, 13th.
And meanwhile, Justin Cooper making it happen. He's got around Ty Masterpool for second, and he has Verrees in his sights. Okay. Verrees is brand new to this factory bike. He's never won a moto. He's never been in the podium. You've got to figure that Cooper is looking for a way around, and then he's going to run and hide. Yeah, here it comes, around the outside. Oh, Cooper's got to be careful. Way off the side of the track, but he takes the lead.
Okay, Cooper has got himself a clear track now. He needs to focus everything he has on winning this moto and making no mistakes. Let's not discount the ride that Verrees is putting in here on that white and black Rockstar Husqvarna. What a great start for the young rider. Great opportunity that he's taking advantage of here with Rockstar Husqvarna.
Yeah, he was a privateer on the road with his dad. He got a phone call as they were driving back from a race in Indiana to California for our next round. And they called and said, "You want to ride our bike?" Obviously, he's taken it. Cool thing about this team is that they actually let him keep his old suspension on the bike, and they actually helped him test and improve it. He's running his suspension, not the factory team stuff.
Well, by old, you mean his the current spec that he was running?
Yeah, okay. His privateer bike suspension, instead of him having to use their parts. If it ends like this, Justin Cooper will be the 250 National Motocross champion. But there are 25 minutes and 2 laps to go. Cooper is in a max point situation here. He can score 25 at this moto, but he cannot get it. There aren't bonus points or anything like that in motocross. It is up to Hunter and Jet Lawrence working together in traffic to try to work their way forward.
Okay, Jason, the pressure is not just on Jet Lawrence. The pressure is on Justin Cooper. The difference is whether or not mentally you can stay engaged in the moment. Justin Cooper can't start thinking about the championship. He has to think about the immediate moment that is in front of him for the next 25 minutes plus 2 laps. He can't worry about what's behind him. What is happening with Jet Lawrence makes no difference to Justin Cooper.
So I said that the Lawrence brothers are running in formation. Hunter is now yielded to Jet. So Jet in the white jersey, Hunter, his older brother, in the aqua. He's got around him. I believe that is 10th place. He needs to finish 7th in this moto right now with Cooper out front. And those positions are right there in front of him. He's going for the pass.
Okay, Jet Lawrence is completely capable, especially where he's at right now, of riding up into a top 7 position. But remember what happened in Moto 1. Not just his own mistake, but also mistakes by other riders. And by not getting the whole shot, this is what you have to deal with.
Levi Kitchen, he's the 147, a teammate to Cooper. Jet really sent it down that hill. They almost collided. He's got to deal with Mumford as well. No room. Can't make the pass.
Let's see, there's a little bottleneck right here. Mumford goes out to block Kitchen.
Oh, that really helped Jet. He's going to get them both.
That's 2 riders in 1 turn. Great move by Jet Lawrence. Right now, you can tell he's being really smart. He's being patient and letting it come to him. Those were 2 of the easiest passes he's going to make all day long.
Next ahead of him is Ty Masterpool, who has been so brilliant as a privateer on the AEO gas ride. Inside the top 10, multiple motos here late in the year. Lawrence has to be careful dealing with Masterpool. We saw on the first lap, run into the back of someone. Usually you're the one that goes down.
The next pass puts him in the position, Jason.
This could be it right here. Long way to go as he's looking for the opening on Masterpool. Lawrence to the inside. Oh, back end stepped out. Is it enough to make this pass? Yes, Lawrence locks it down. That might be enough for the title.
Oh, little squirrely cross ruts coming out of that turn.
Oh, Kitchen got run into. Came into the back of Masterpool, went down. That would have been one of the allies for Cooper, one of the teammates. Kitchen tips over.
So as they come across the finish line, that's going to put Jet Lawrence in 7th. Exactly the position he needs to lock up this title, but still more than 20 minutes plus 2 laps. The young Australian rider has got to stay present. He has to limit the mistakes. This is it. The biggest moment of his professional motocross career. He's got a little over 20 minutes to try to stay in the top 7 and wrap up this title.
Next riders in line for him, Schwartz and Voland. If it's natural pace, it takes him to them. He's going to have to make more passes and then try to avoid the contact. That has been a big problem throughout his race day. There is Voland up ahead.
Okay, if you're Lawrence right now, you take some deep breaths. You look ahead, you analyze on who the riders are in front of you. You know their personalities, their tendencies, right? And so now you're mentally putting together the strategy to how to finish off this moto. Okay, you're also thinking about lines on the track, what's working, what is not working, and then of course, as you're going past lapped riders, you're thinking, okay, you have to be patient, okay? No more mistakes. There's been enough of them here in the first moto and the start of this second moto.
Torrid battle up front. You just saw ahead of him Schwartz and Voland really duking it out. Then it'd be Shimoda 4th, Forkner 3rd, Varese 2nd, Cooper leads. Now, Jeff, you had 2 different titles in this series come down to the last moto, the last round. How difficult is it to not think of the big picture and just think lap by lap, turn by turn, and try to ride like you would in practice?
Well, the best place to be in is win and you're in. Win and you win the title. Oh, he gets a little squirrely right there, too. This is a really difficult place to be in because you start thinking, okay, do I have the points? Your mechanic is putting the messages. As he's going to go through the mechanics area here. Mechanic's going to take and hold the signboard out, letting him know what position he's in. The win and you win the title is such a great place to be because there's nothing else to think about. Right now, Lawrence has to not get ahead of it. Okay, don't think too much. just do.
Right. I know people would say, oh, it's a good position. He doesn't need to go all out and push to win the race. But this is not what these guys are used to. They don't ride at 90% ever. So you feel almost Cooper's in a better spot points-wise, no, but Cooper's just going and riding like he usually does.
I just don't want to discount how difficult it is and mentally taxing it is on Jet Lawrence right now in the position. We still have so much racing left to go.
And he's closing on the pack in front of him, that Voland and Schwartz group. Meanwhile, Forkner has taken second place away from Varese, and that's a thick pack right here. We actually saw Justin Cooper going downhill in this section. There you can see the leader, and then look at this group.
Yeah, just as they came into that top turn, I noticed Voland kicked up one of those yellow track markers, and it kicked up just as Jet Lawrence goes by. That's what I'm talking about. Any little mistake, like gets in there and kicks the front wheel and loses traction, boom, he would be out of position to win the title.
Look at this battle. You got
incredible battle.
Two Kawasaki riders, Forkner and Shimoda, just side by side all the way around the track. Then Schwartz, and Voland, and Varese right in there. I mean, these riders are really going at it. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. And then you get to Lawrence here in seventh, clinging to the title. He would get it. It would actually be, I believe, a tie. He has the tiebreaker. He will have more moto wins by one over Cooper if it ends like this.
It's just too close for comfort for anyone associated with HRC Honda and the Lawrence family, and of course his legion of fans, not just here in America but back in Australia.
So he's closing on, it would be Varese next in order.
That's 2 laps in a row that he's got a little sideways up that step up.
Can Jet Lawrence hang on? Can he ride in the moment? Can he avoid the pressure, the drama? It has been a very rough day for him. He came in with a huge points lead, 23, nearly one whole moto. There's his mechanic.
Yeah, so he's got a 21.7. That tells him that he's at a 221.7, so that's his lap time. And then hit your marks. It's like, don't make any mistakes. Just focus. Varese is coming back to Lawrence pretty quickly right now. That's going to be another point and getting him out of that tie-break situation.
I know, but he's got to be a little nervous when he has to make the pass on someone, because we've seen the downsides a couple of times today when you're trying to make moves. Usually you can make the pass clean, but the rider makes a mistake and you're side-by-side.
Jason, what were you doing when you were 18? I mean, think about.
Yes, yeah.
He's 18 and he's on the cusp.
Yep.
17 minutes plus 2 laps, and he's going to be the 250 Pro Motocross champion.
Yeah, he just turned 18. This is like a high school freshman or a high school senior. You're just having a good time. He has all the weight of the world on his shoulders at 18 years old right now as he tries to get around Varese and build up a little bit of a cushion in the point standings.
And it's been so long since Honda has won this title.
Yeah, 2011.
10 years.
Or sorry, 2010 actually with Trey Kennard. So we're going 11 years deep. Here it is, down to the inside. He makes the move on Varese. So he would have the title with a tie. Now he'd have a 1-point lead. Win the title by a point if it ends like this.
Well, he's got Schwartz right in front of him.
Starting to come together for Jet now, but we are still in the first half of this moto. Justin Cooper, 6.1 seconds up on this group that you see right here. The Kawasaki rider of Shimoda, Forkner.
Well, and Jason, this track started out earlier today in qualifying practice. Completely smooth, very nice track prep by the crew. Really tacky, fast. I believe the fast lap time was 2:12.
Yeah.
Right now, the fastest lap that anyone turned this time around was Cooper at a 2:21. The track is 10 seconds slower. So what some thought would be an easy track in this final moto, it is really difficult. Also, one thing for me personally that always made it tough is late in the day, all these shadows.
Here's a move. He's trying to get
these lines.
Just like he did in Moto 1, he got Schwartz in the same section of the track, and he waves to him again on the same jump like he did in Moto 1. Thank you.
I know who's buying donuts at the end of Dylan Schwartz is going to get him a free donut at the end of this because he did not make it difficult for Jet Lawrence.
So Jet Lawrence up to 5th. That would give him a 2-point advantage in the standings in our final moto of the year as Justin Cooper continues to lead. More traffic up ahead. Let's see if he goes after Voland. I have to admit, it's a pretty good ride, actually. All the pressure on his shoulders. He's just trying to not make mistakes. But he's still, his speed is taking him up toward the podium positions here. Second place is just at the top of the hill.
Yeah, such a tight battle there between Shimoda, Forkner, and Voland. And now Lawrence has clawed his way into the conversation for the podium.
He looks a lot better than he did a few laps ago here, starting to flow around this racetrack. Voland going after Forkner. Forkner goes wide. Voland's got him. And this could be a pass. Oh, Forkner swerves across the track. He wanted to get to the outside.
Yeah, wow. Taking the long way around is Forkner there, and it looks like he's going to give up the spot to Lawrence.
Woo.
Almost getting together.
That was close. So another spot for Jet Lawrence. That was a bad lap there for Forkner. He lost position to both Voland and another one to Lawrence. So it's getting better for Lawrence now. A little more room in the points to play with. At one point he was clinging to it. He's going to win the title with a tie. Any other mistake, he would have lost ground. Now if he lost a position or two for whatever reason, he would still have the crown.
Lawrence right now is about 10.5 seconds off of the lead. Last time around, Jet Lawrence turned to 2:22, which was the same as Cooper, who's up front, but it was Shimoda with the fastest lap last time.
Feet off the pegs there for Jet Lawrence coming out of that right-hander. Goes back into the attack. So we can reset the order as they come through the line here. Cooper's lead, 6 seconds on Shimoda. Voland up to third, looking for a podium here at his home race, the first-year pro. And fourth place is Jet Lawrence. And closing on Voland. Doesn't need any additional positions to win this title.
Just has to stay focused, keep the Honda 250 on two wheels.
NTT IndyCar Series Laguna Seca. Oh, it's so fun to watch any form of racing there. That'll be next Sunday at 3 o'clock on NBC. IndyCar's diving down the corkscrew. Not too far from here, Northern California. We are at Hangtown, Prairie City, OHV. The Honda people are cheering their man, Jet Lawrence, who has made it much more nerve-wracking than we expected to be. Has been a nail-biter all day. A whole bunch of crashes, a whole bunch of problems. He has ratcheted it back up. He's moved into the number 4 position. That would give him the title by my estimates by about 3 points. Justin Cooper, who's second in the series, looking to go 1-1 in the two motos today, score maximum points. But time might be up for Cooper.
Well, a really famous quote that we all give from the greatest champion ever in AMA Lucas Oil Pro Motocross, Ricky Carmichael. He's said so many times, you win your championships on your bad days, your tough days. How do you manage those tough days? For Lawrence, after 4 straight moto wins, you thought, okay, he has the potential to come in and dominate this last race, but Moto 1 started out horribly, 2 times on the ground. Moto 2 has been much the same, very, very difficult. And Jet Lawrence has found a way to put him in the position and possibly win this title with 10 minutes and 2 laps to go.
Yeah, we're under the final 15 minutes of the season. You could save 15% or more on your insurance with a 15-minute phone call to Geico. The old Geico Honda team, the vestiges of that team shut down at the end of last year. Hunter and Jet Lawrence were on that squad. They were absorbed into the factory Honda HRC unit. A lot of the staff members came over there as well. They are trying to win the title in Honda's return for the factory effort to this class. Now, second place Shimoda has been caught by Voland, so Voland really rallying here at his home racetrack.
Yeah, Voland, family residence about 15 minutes from here. He certainly put plenty of laps in here at Prairie City, Hangtown National, which has been around since the 70s. We've got a great battle here. I expected Voland to be strong today, but this is the end of the second moto, last race of the championship. And look how, okay, we talked about, or you talked about the corkscrew at Laguna Seca, the road race coming up. It's like we have our own little corkscrew here on this first hillside here at Prairie City.
So Volan looking for a first ever moto podium. He's in third already. He wants to take second away from Shimoda. And the Volan family, absolutely legends here. Both his dad, Talon, and his uncle, Tyson, former pros and race winners at the highest level.
Oh, I raced against both of them. They were tough.
Yep. So the fans here, they've been screaming the Volan name from these fences for a long, long time. Now it's Max, second-generation rider, looking to take second away from Shimoda, the rider out of Japan. Shimoda has been so strong the last couple of rounds of this series, really serving notice that he could run for race wins in 2022. So we go back to Jet Lawrence, looking to put the finishing touches on this championship with 9 minutes and 2 laps remaining.
Well, he has had a tough day. I mean, so mentally taxing, especially for somebody of his age and maturity. But, I mean, he has found a way to stabilize everything. It's just starting to get the blue flag, going past some lapped riders right now, but found his focus. 10 minutes plus 2 laps to go, and he'll be your 250 champion. He cannot afford to make any more mistakes, I can tell you that.
His brother Hunter, also very fun to talk to, great personality on both of them, and he always talks about how it usually goes the Lawrence way. It's never the easy way. So they left Australia to go to Europe to really cut their racing teeth. They found that in the past, a lot of the Australians who spent some time in Europe seemed to do better in the United States with that additional bit of experience. They did not try to come straight to America. It was a hard scrabble existence, not making any money, moving halfway across the world. They made enough of a name for themselves in Europe to get good rides here in America. We're watching Lawrence from 2 angles here as he tries to finish this off. But it really looked like everything was coming together for Jet with the 4 straight moto wins coming into this. Well, it ended up being the Lawrence way, the hard way again today. 2 crashes in Moto 1 and another one here in Moto 2. But he is on the verge of pulling this out by the slimmest of margins.
Yeah, he's just gone through what has now shaped up to be really the most difficult part of the track there, those off-camber left and right.
We'll show you some of the incidents from earlier. First, a bad start in Moto 1. That put him way back. And then had 2 crashes early and had to come from about last place. He was able to rally into the top 10. But several times throughout the day, we were in the position where Justin Cooper would have won the title if the race had ended. This is the first lap of our first race earlier.
Yeah, Jet Lawrence just gets a little sideways through this little rhythm section. And then also, the rider goes down in front of him. He has to slam on the brakes, almost goes over the bars. This is Moto 2, early in Moto 2. Set himself back once again, but he's kept his cool. Trusted his training and his speed and all of his preparation, and now he's worked his way up into the number 4 position, which right now is good enough to win the title.
If he can get it done, we have certainly seen today at Hangtown that anything can happen. And we felt, when you look at the personality, the carefree spirit of Jet Lawrence, that maybe he would be immune to pressure. No one is at this level. It has certainly been a rough race day for him, but he is in position to take this title. Jet Lawrence, less than 10 minutes away from his first ever professional championship.
Well, then we go up front here and find our leader, Justin Cooper, who's really having just a fantastic day. Just a lonely ride up front, about 7.2 seconds in the lead, doing everything that he needs to do. And if I'm his mechanic, the team manager and everybody, I'm not showing Justin Cooper anything. If he chooses to try to find and spot who's in second, third, fourth, fifth, all of that, let him do that. But keep him focused on the checkered flag. That's all he can do, is try to win this moto.
Well, we now know what happened to Justin Cooper. He had the points lead midway through the year, and Jet Lawrence was struggling. And at Washougal, he crashed. He's not been the same rider since. He's kept the cards close to the vest. He finally told you this morning, Jeff, he was riding with a broken thumb.
Breaking news.
Yeah,
that's what I do. Well, it's the rider-to-rider camaraderie and trust.
I bet you asked him 2 weeks ago. He would have given you the same swerve as everyone else. He didn't want to say he was hurt.
No, and so that is a little bit of gamesmanship. You don't want to show any weakness and let your competition know what's going on. It's also, you don't want to talk about it. You just want to, focus on what you have to get done. But he's also not made any excuses for it either. Could have easily been in the press and here with our NBC and MAV TV broadcast. He hasn't done that. And you really have to respect how he's gone about that.
Yep. All he's done is say, I need to give it my all and I need to be better. And we're on the verge of looking back at a few key moments throughout the year that could have swung this title in either direction with how close the points are going to end up. Final moments of the 2021 Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship. Justin Cooper is looking to leave a winner. Max points today, 1-1 scores, and it was almost enough to take the points lead and the title away from Jet Lawrence. Jet Lawrence is clinging to it back there in fourth. It would be enough to keep Cooper from getting this title.
Well, and let's think back months before this championship started, the final round of Monster Energy Supercross that you caught on NBC. Justin Cooper was the rider that was in the final race of the championship, having to manage a bad start and just get into position to win the title. And if I'm not mistaken, it was Jet Lawrence that was winning that race. Now, the tables have turned between the two title combatants, and Justin Cooper's out front trying to win the race, and Lawrence is having to manage the championship by riding through the pack. What a difference here in the last 5 months. But they have been the two best 250 riders of 2021.
Yeah, when you balance it out. Colt Nichols won a Supercross title as well, but Nichols not up there in motocross and then missed the last couple rounds with injury. And Cooper's going to come oh so close. And it started with this. A Motorsport whole shot replay will show it. He not only gets to jump, but he moves over on Lawrence, which shoves Lawrence into the middle of the pack. And
meanwhile, though, that's going to be Josh Faree's last start of the year, the 241 on the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. Takes that motorsport.com hole shot. And Cooper was close to it, and even through the second turn, it looked like Cooper might try to go around the outside and take the lead early. He didn't, but he has the lead now. A little over 2 minutes plus 2 laps to go.
Lawrence has made the move on Volan. That'll get him to third in the moto. He needed to finish 7th to wrap the title, so it has come together for him. The first 10 minutes, quite shaky, but he has found his pace now, taking the podium spot away from Volan. If you go ahead.
No, I was just saying, this is such a difficult time of the day. When you get into these really deep ruts, that's when some of the shadows are starting to form, and wherever those lines are dark, even from the trees right here, this is where it gets difficult for the riders. And Jet Lawrence, you have got to stay focused, razor sharp concentration. You are on the cusp of the most successful, biggest day of your life and of your motocross career. Let's see how Lawrence picked off Volan for the number 3 position. From our Parts Unlimited drone, it's going to go the long way around. Stays low over this tabletop. Finds a smooth line way on the left here. The outside then becomes the inside. And makes the pass on young Max Volan. Well, they're both young at this point, I guess.
Yeah, they're about the same. I think Volan might have just turned 19 and Lawrence is 18. If you go through Jet Lawrence's Instagram, you and I did the deep dive this week, scrolling down to the bottom. It is quite heartwarming to see. At one point, you see him have a send-off party with his elementary school friends from Australia when he was about to head to Europe. And at that point, it was really his brother Hunter, I think, that was the better prospect, only because Jet was so young. But Jet did put himself on the map at one point when he won the World Championship for the Junior Cup on a 65cc motorcycle, went to Europe, won that World Cup. A couple years later, they decided to embark on an European adventure. But to see that he was just a regular kid in elementary school in Australia, leaving for Europe, packing his bags, with his brothers, his parents, head to Europe. They were on the radar, but I got to say, it wasn't like people 5 years ago in the United States were saying we have to get the Lawrence brothers. I give a lot of credit actually to their agent, Lucas Myrtle. He was shopping them saying, these kids will be here someday and they will be good.
So think about, he's in grade school, right?
Yeah.
I mean, only the biggest dreamers would say, oh yeah, this is possible. 99.9% of the people out there, why would a young kid from Australia become this big motocross champion, right?
Yeah.
Like, what's the chances?
Yep.
Right? But Jet and his family, they have big dreams, big aspirations, and up to this point, they are right on the cusp of living those dreams.
Yeah.
Becoming a pro motocross champion, racing with some of the best motocross riders in the world here in America.
Well, what we have seen in this sport as of late, there was a time where certain riders were coming through and winning at every level, especially you think Ricky Carmichael and James Stewart. They just won at every displacement class, every age, and they just kept on winning. It has not come easy for really anyone since then, and now a lot of teams, trainers, and coaches believe you have to sprinkle a little grit, a little adversity in there. And to come from Australia, go through Europe, and then get to the United States, that is adversity, that is grit. So they've seen both sides of it. It has not been 8 years old, signed to a contract, making money, we're going to make your life easy. It has not been like that for the Lawrence family. Maybe that pays off in moments like this.
2-lap board is out, Jason.
He's backed it way down now. Meanwhile, Justin Cooper, as revealed to you, Jeff Emig, racing with a broken thumb the last couple of weeks. He still rode well, but it wasn't well enough to stop Jet Lawrence from winning motos and taking the points lead away.
Well,
he's going to end it on a high note, though.
Yeah, and this is what's part of this championship and why the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship is so coveted, why it's so difficult. Okay, it's 12 races, 24 motos, okay, in keeping yourself healthy, not getting sick, keeping the bike on two wheels, all that is so important. It's such a big part of this. And Justin Cooper finishing this championship, still got a lap and a half to go, trying to finish this championship off. But you gotta wonder, like, what a momentum swing it was when he crashed on his own with just a couple laps to go at Washougal. How it changed the face of this championship.
Oh, he was going to win the race that day. Lawrence was struggling.
He was going to win the overall.
Yeah, he was going to win the overall. Lawrence was struggling. Cooper was stretching the points lead. Yeah, 2 laps to go. A crash in an area you don't normally see people crash.
No,
peak
definitely.
of Washougal's horsepower hill. We now know led to a thumb injury. He's still got a couple other moto wins, but he was just never quite as sharp, especially in the second motos. And then once Jet got the momentum, he stomped on it, and that's what allowed him to build that points lead that he really needed today. He needed every point.
Yeah, but a nice way to finish this championship off. Taking a look over his left shoulder, trying to see where the riders are at. Like I said, if I was on the Monster Energy Yamaha team, I would not let him know where Jet was at all. I would just keep him focused, keep him in the moment right now, and go out and win the race, win the motos.
You know, I'm thinking the irony here. Justin Cooper has been incredibly consistent throughout his career. He will have a podium 12 out of 12 in the races this year. He is over 50% for his career in motocross, his podium rate. But what he said all year is, I need to be more than just a podium guy. I need to be a guy that gets 1-1s. He's finally going to do it.
In the final race.
And it's going to be one of the more disappointing days of his career because he's probably going to end up second in the series. But he finally does get the 1-1 that he wanted so badly.
Yeah, I mean, he knew, and you really had the feeling that whoever could notch that first 1-1 was going to set themselves apart. Jet Lawrence was the rider to do that. Well, this is it, Jason. We're on the final lap. Cooper is doing everything that he could possibly do today to put himself in the position. And with just a lap to go, can Jet Lawrence, who right now runs in third, finish this moto off to give himself the title?
And we'll give you the coverage of both. The Parts Unlimited drone will show you the 18 of Lawrence looking to bring it home. Has to stay error-free as Cooper on the bottom is headed to his second race win of the year. The key stat, though, as we said, 12 podiums in 12 rounds. Normally you do that, that's enough for a title. He's going to come up a few marks short. He's going to gain 17 points on Jet Lawrence today, but he was down 23 when we began racing here at Hangtown. So going to come up 6 points short of the title.
Well, difficult track. There are so many little small edges and bumps, square edges out there that can force you into a mistake. But if you're the top screen, they're the number 18 of Jet Lawrence. This is the longest lap of your career.
Justin Cooper bounces back. 3 subpar races while dealing with injury. Lost the points lead. Found himself at a huge deficit. He rode brilliantly today, looking for the first 1-1 of his career, and he will bring it home. We don't know, as you said, if the team has even informed him of where the points are. He probably doesn't know what the situation is. He never saw, really, Jet Lawrence at all today. All he can do is win races. He did his part, but it appears he's going to come up a few points short. And meanwhile, the Jet Lawrence fans are just a few moments away from a jubilant celebration. Here it is. Justin Cooper gets the 1-1 he wanted. Cooper wins Hangtown. And now the count begins. Just one turn away. You can hear the celebratory rev. Jet Lawrence is a 2021 Lucas Oil Pro Motocross champion. And the celebration, the brass there from Honda. And his mechanic, Kristen Ducharme, a graduate of the Pro SX MX Tech School, and there the two riders embrace. They kept it clean all year, Cooper and Lawrence. Shimoda, who's buddies with Lawrence, there to congratulate him as well. And there's the fans.
And what a great shot, Jason. I mean, those three really have been the standout riders all season long.
Yeah, Shimoda really came on strong as of late. And you don't even see, I think it's almost more shock or just an emotional relief. There's his brother Hunter. And now I think it's starting to sink in. The first few moments, I think it was just emotional exhaustion. He went through the ringer today. Earned this title. Jet Lawrence, 2 wins in a row. The series finale at this track last year, and Jet Lawrence wins the opener for 2021. For the first time since the last weekend of May in our series opener, Jet Lawrence has won the overall. Takes it at Unadilla. Moto number 1 at Ironman Raceway belongs to Jet Lawrence. He needed the 1-1. He gets the 1-1. Jet Lawrence has taken the points lead and the race win. And Jet Lawrence wins again at Fox Raceway. Young Jet Lawrence is already one of the most popular riders in motocross and supercross, but now he has proven his championship bona fides. A nail-biting season, back and forth all year. He has claimed the #1 plate. Let's send it to Ashley.
Well, the crowd is fired up here to celebrate with Jet Lawrence on this championship, but I'm going to introduce you guys to Mike Pelletier, the AMA Director of Racing.
Jet, congratulations on an amazing season. On behalf of the AMA and MX Sports Pro Racing, it gives me great pleasure to present you with the 2021 Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship 250 #1 plate.
Thank you. Let's go!
An emotional roller coaster of a day for Jet Lawrence as he comes in to this championship. Jet, you're holding that #1 plate. How does it feel?
It feels so great because, oh my gosh, I rode so bad today. And Cooper rode awesome. I had a great year. I loved racing him. He always keeps you on your toes, especially with those starts. But no, I just got to thank the whole crew who got me here. I can't thank them enough. My manager Lucas, my whole family, my brother, and all of HRC, because without them I wouldn't be here. And there's even people in Europe that helped me get here, so I love them all. But I know it's a very special day for me, and I know it's a very special day for you guys. So people had to go through that 9/11. I am very sorry, and the survivors, I hope you guys recovered well, and I wish you guys all the best. So yeah.
Congratulations. I'd like to present to you your 2021 250 Lucas Oil Pro Motocross champion.
Yeah, even lived at Ken Roxon's house in Germany. Roxon's dad helped coach him when he was in Europe. They have made their way to the United States. The Lawrence brothers Factory Honda has themselves another champion. The Carson City Motorsports Hangtown Classic is brought to you by Geico Motorcycle. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on motorcycle insurance. And by Lucas Oil. Keep that engine alive. And Honda already celebrating with champagne of their own. Jen Embrace with his mechanic, Christian. They have wrapped up the title. Valiant effort today to keep the championship hopes alive for Justin Cooper. He will win the race and finish second in the series. Here's Ashley.
And he's been the most consistent rider on the podium each and every round. Justin, you've been after this 1-1 all season long. In the end, it wasn't enough for the championship. But what do you take out of this season as a whole?
Yeah, you said it right there, on the podium every weekend overall. It's a big accomplishment for me. And, yeah, I gave it all I had. This is what I had to do. But, yeah, I think everyone has seen the slump I've had the last few weekends. In that Washougal crash, I ended up having a fracture in my thumb. So was trying to keep that a little quiet and, you know, trying to protect myself in this championship. And we did give it all we had. No excuses. Jet put in a lot of hard work this year. And I don't think anyone really realizes how long and hard this championship is physically and mentally. So huge congrats to that team and Jet. They had an awesome season. And, yeah, I'm proud of myself. We were able to rebound, and maybe a little bit too late, but we tried our butt off the whole season, and that's what counts. So proud of myself, proud of the whole team for sticking behind me, you know, giving me all the tools I need to succeed like this. And, yeah, it was a great season, bittersweet. My first 1-1 of the year, and we came up a little bit short, but we gave it all we had, and that's what matters to me. So just got to give it to the whole team, Monster Energy Star Racing, Yamaha, Toyota of Escondido, Thor, Parts Unlimited, Alpine Star, Bell, 100%, Dunlop, my girlfriend, my family, Rhino Power, CCI knee braces. Big shout out to my mechanic, Jelly. It's his birthday today. Never forget this whole 9/11 thing. I'm from New York, so it's really, really close to me. And yeah, it's all in all a great day. Yeah, happy birthday to my mechanic again. Glad to get the 1-1 for him. He's tried his butt off. It's been a long season on all of us. And thank you all the fans this year for rooting us on. You guys are what make the sport so great. And yeah, let's have a vacation.
Well, congratulations on a solid season. Justin Cooper finishes 1-1 on the season.
And for a guy who really hadn't been able to ride much the last month, he certainly was strong at the finale. How about that? That's our champions, Jet Lawrence of the 250 class. And on the right, Dylan Ferrandis of the 450 class. That's cool.
Well, to the victors goes the spoils right now, and I think all these riders and teams are happy to have this championship done with, but none more than Ferrandis and Lawrence.
Here's our race recap. Here's the drama moment. As Jet goes down early while pursuing Max Volan, and then he would drop to about 13th place, which would not have been enough to win the title, especially because Justin Cooper was charging.
Well, Cooper goes around the outside of the rookie here, Varize. Stays a little lower on this tabletop, pulls the tear off as he goes by, and then has a clear track.
So Cooper is free to win the moto, and here's the comeback charge that Jet Lawrence needed. A couple of passes right here.
Yeah, 2 spots at once, and would just keep chipping away at it. And it was a difficult moto. Gets past Varize right here. Would love to have gone out and won the moto, but the fact that he rallied for a third just shows the type of fitness and determination, skill that he has.
And there it is, the second moto win, combined with the first moto win overall for Cooper. But Jet Lawrence finishing this moto in third behind Joe Shimoda. That will be enough to win the title. And it was so fun to watch these two battle all year long. Don't forget, the beginning of the year, we had 6 winners in the first 6 rounds. Shout out to riders like Hampshire and Swole and Jeremy Martin. They were also in the fight all year long as well. There's the guaranteed rate results for Moto 2. Let's send it back to the podium.
And all of us have been watching Joe Shimoda really blossom and become a podium contender each and every weekend. And Joe, the fans are embracing you. Everything about this season has been fun to watch. What has this journey been like for you personally?
before to say anything, congratulations to Jet Lawrence. Honestly, he was fast, just simply, and no, thanks to my team, my family, Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki, Mitch, trainer Yanning, Fox, everybody, and no, like I wanted to win one honestly, but this year I wasn't there, so no, but made a good improvements, and it was good to put myself in the podium again with the team. So thank you so much to the guys, and let's keep going this way.
Well, congratulations on a great season, Joe Shimoda.
Thank you.
Here are your final series standings. Shimoda, by the way, was second overall today. Hunter Lawrence will end up third in the series. Shimoda fifth, Hampshire fourth, and the final margin of victory for Jet Lawrence, 6 over Justin Cooper after 24 points paying motos. What a spectacular season it was. Of course, we give congratulations out to the dominant 450 champion, Dylan Ferrandis, and now the celebration will begin. We'll have a half-hour post-show if you're watching live on Peacock. For Jeff Emig, also Grant Langston here with us all year, early in the season. Ashley, I'm Jason. Thanks for watching.